tell us about this pipeline. We understand it's going to be built from Richmond to Robeson County, right? And but there'll be taps off all over the eastern.
The gas is going to be coming from West Virginia, actually, through Virginia, then through North Carolina, and it'll be basically along the I-95 corridor, and then off that major gas line will be spin-off pipes, which will hit most of small towns and large cities in eastern North Carolina, which are desperately needed. It'll go through, I think, in and around Pitt County, in and around Wilson, North Carolina, in and around, all along I-95 area primarily, and then all the way through Pembroke and that area. So it's going to be hitting the parts of the state where natural gas is needed desperately at this point in time. And it was one of the major hindrances to our economic development recruitment was the lack of supply of affordable natural gas. And this really hurt our industrial recruitment and our commercial recruitment. And it hurt the farmers, too. The farmers in eastern North Carolina were paying so much for natural gas that this is going to lower their cost a great deal.
As I understand it, it's going to be like a $680 million economic impact and going to create about 700 jobs. Now, these won't be permanent jobs, but to build the pipeline, about 700 jobs. So people in eastern North Carolina, particularly manual laborers looking for work, this could be coming at a very good time for them.
Well, the construction industry was one of the worst hit during the recession starting in 2008, and especially in eastern North Carolina where housing and other types of construction haven't rebounded. So this can provide much-needed construction jobs in North Carolina. But in the long term, I think this will provide thousands of new jobs in North Carolina because existing industry will expand now that we have access to natural gas, and we'll be able to recruit new industries. As Sharon Ducker and I have recruited a new industry for the East, one of the biggest drawbacks has been you haven't got natural gas, and that's been a real hindrance to our recruitment. And this will especially help, again, manufacturers. And, this is going to help our country become more independent, too, because of using natural gas from inside the United States. Now, my goal, Henry, is to now start looking for natural gas inside North Carolina so we can start shipping our natural gas down into South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida and so forth.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. How does this in any way affect your position on trying to drill for natural gas? The fracking thing has been somewhat controversial, and I know we think that most of the shale is down around the Sandhills area, around Pinehurst, down through Lee County and Sanford through there. That's where we think the natural gas is in North Carolina, but we won't know until they start the fracking process down there. Does this change your mind at all about that? Because, all the environmentalists are still screaming about that.
No, in fact, I think it encourages. By the way, those same environmentalists are using natural gas every day for fracking that's piped into North Carolina for their air conditioning today and yesterday and the day before. So there's a little hypocrisy there.
Yeah.
We're all for natural gas coming from somewhere else. But
right.
The fact of the matter is we got to first find out if we do have natural gas, especially wet gas, in Lee County area, and then we're going to do some seismic testing off the coast also to see if we have any natural gas there. And we just got permission from the administration to do that. So we're fulfilling our promises. I promised an infrastructure plan not just for transportation, but also for energy. And we have 3 points of that. One is offshore, one is inland gas, and one is piping inland from other states. And looks like we're meeting that goal pretty quickly.
Now, looking at the press release that your office sent out yesterday, this is a $4.5 billion venture, this new pipeline. Who's paying the freight on that? Who's coming up with the money for that?
Three companies, Dominion, Duke Energy, and Piedmont Natural Gas, have formed a consortium to make it happen. And then they know in order to expand their base, they've got to recruit new industrial customers too. And right now, nuclear power is kind of flat, and the cost of nuclear power is a hindrance at this point in time. Solar and wind don't really handle industrial needs because it can't be reliable at night and other time periods. And, of course, coal is tough to expand right now due to the administration. So natural gas is, the natural gas turbines is where the utilities are turning. But they've got to get the gas to their own turbines, and then they also have to get the gas to their customers. So this is a joint venture between three companies. They've been talking with me about it. I was sworn to secrecy for a pretty long period of time, and I'm glad it's come to fruition. And it's very important. not only for North Carolina, it's also going to help parts of Virginia.
Very exciting stuff. Congratulations, Governor. Pat McCrory on the telephone with us. You got a few more minutes. You got to run. They didn't give me a time. How much time you got with us?
I'm fine with you, Henry.
Okay.
I've got an 8:00 meeting, and I've got to hit rush hour walking down the stairs to the executive mansion.
Let's talk about some other issues. One of the things that I'm really excited about, we had Dale Falwell on last week, and Dale.
Isn't he great?
He is terrific. It's funny. I didn't really know Dale Falwell, longtime legislator out of the Winston-Salem area. Now you're, I believe, Assistant Secretary of Commerce. Is that his official title?
Well, he's the director of an unemployment division, which is a
Right.
major. It's under the Commerce Division. I almost consider him a cabinet secretary. The guy is, by the way, he's a motorcycle nut too. He races motorcycles, so that's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, I ran into him.
He wrecks about every other week.
Dale's quite a character. I ran into him out there on the mall one day between the legislative building and your office and the Capitol, and he had on cowboy boots. He's a real character, but
but he's smart as can be, and except for his motorcycle riding, and I'm trying to he wears a helmet, thank God.
Well, he's a financial genius, is what he is, and
he is, and you know what? He's not only a financial genius, but when he came in, I told everyone that Raleigh media still doesn't want to give me any credit. I said we got a broken government. He found people in the unemployment area who hadn't shown up to work. He showed one person who hadn't come to work in 3 months.
Mm.
And then he went down with his cell phone into the phone answering area for unemployment, and he dialed the number that was supposed to be picked up, and he just kept the phone ringing for, I think, over 24 hours, and it's never picked up. And he just,
unbelievable.
He just let it ring, and he started fixing things real quick and change the culture in unemployment.
Well, what I like about him
working
is
in unemployment was on unemployment.
What I love about him is, and I know under your direction and guidance, we owed $2.5 billion to the federal government when you took over, and now in less than 2 years with Dale working on this, he told us on the phone last week when he was on the show that we now have that down to under $600 million.
It's amazing, and that's going to lower the cost for business, find more money for them, and hire more people. And our goal was to get people off of unemployment, not to extend unemployment.
Right.
And it didn't survey well, but I'll tell you, you don't see front page articles on Dale and the work he's accomplished, and he deserves it. He's just fantastic. I just got to keep him off his bike and his motorcycle.
By the way, I'm also hearing from a lot of school teachers who are actually saying to me, you might remember I've sent you a couple of these.
You sent me I appreciate that. I forwarded them to my education advisor.
There was one close friend of mine whose son and daughter are both school teachers, and they moved from one county to another. I believe they moved to Wake County. With the move and the raise that they got together, they're going to receive about $25,000 more dollars this year than they did last year. And you know what? You just don't see that in the News and Observer. There are a lot of school teachers who are very thankful for what you and the legislature did this year, Governor.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very proud of it. The fact of the matter is there is a bias, and if I were a liberal Democrat governor that's been in office for a long period of time, I'd be on the front page every day, and I'd be a Nobel Peace Prize winner probably. But that's not the way it works, and we're not in it for that reason. We're in it to do the right thing, and we put a lot of the front end pay. We lowered it 31 pay step to 6, and most of our attrition is the first 10 years, and that's where we're putting most of our money is in the first 10 years, so teachers can be rewarded faster. But the union's still complaining every day, and Trevor Barber and the union and Rachel Maddow.
Well, they don't get paid unless they can come up with something to complain about. So there you go. That's their job to complain. Hey, tonight's a big night for your friend Thom Tillis. Speaker Tillis goes against Kay Hagan in the first nationally televised debate tonight. Did you give Thom Tillis any pointers? You did a great job in your debates when you were running.
Yeah, I told him to show up on time and don't get lost on the way to the debate, like my driver did, Rocky Mount. My driver took the wrong turn. We literally showed up to the debate when I was running for governor last time in Rocky Mount at the community college there a minute before
Yeah.
I was introduced.
Yeah,
And it was the best debate I ever had.
don't insult the people at North Carolina Wesleyan. It's not a community college.
I'm sorry,
you're
North
gonna
Carolina
get
Wesleyan. Is that where it was? I'm
You're not-
sorry.
yeah.
I didn't get to see the campus going in. All I saw was the back loading dock. They were
Right.
introducing the commentator when I went in that debate.
I remember that. Yeah.
And Jack Hawk, God bless his soul, he was freaking out. But so I advise him to show up late. Don't hang around all your advisors. Don't listen to your advisors about what to say and what not to say. Speak from the heart and speak from the gut and speak from the brain.
Are you going to watch? Are you going to watch it tonight?
I hope to.
7 o'clock.
I hope
Yeah.
to. And I'm
7 o'clock.
hoping that Tom will do great. Tom's a sharp guy and very strategic, and I'm sure he's doing his homework. But I hope the consultants don't over prepare him. Like
I'm actually
others.
looking forward to seeing Speaker Tillis and Kay Hagan side by side, and not just the 30-second soundbite TV ads, because I've never thought she was tremendously good on her feet, and I think Speaker Tillis is one of the best.
He's very, very sharp. He's going to do a good job. I pray that consultants don't try to let him be Tom, and he'll do fine. And that's what it's a nerve-wracking experience for all these candidates. I'll tell you, debating is very tough because you're working your tail off on the campaign trail, away from your family, and one mess up in an hour or hour and a half debate can mess up the whole campaign.
Yeah,
and they'll remember the misstep more than they'll remember the positive things you might have to say. And keep your cool. And I've got a lot of experience in debating, and believe me, it's nerve-wracking. But once you get on stage, you calm down. And